Y'all don't understand the word grind. Y'all do not understand the word grind. Like, I literally had to wake up at 6 o'clock, work 9 hours, make it down to downtown Winston-Salem, North Carolina, at 301 North Main Street, at the EBS Suites, Executive Suites. Did 2 podcasts live. Did another podcast virtual. Come home, ate dinner, kissed my baby, all that. She's back there asleep. Then get back on the phone, back on YouTube, back on Facebook Live, and then do 2 more interviews. That is what I'm talking about. Promise me, I'm out here grinding. This is what it is. It is the Pop-Up Podcast. Hey. When I mean you have to work, if you want to get your dream going, you got to work to get your dream going. That's all I'm saying. So, tonight, I got somebody. I'm not from H-Town, but they do represent the same coast I'm from, the Third Coast. That's what it is. The Third Coast. You know what it is. I'm from Florida. He's from Texas. Go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Hey, what up, world, man? This is your boy, hip hop artist, rapper, Scoob Due, straight out of H-Town, Fifth Ward, Texas, all black, 20% Mexicans. You know how we do it.
Wait, say that one more time. Say that one more time for people who didn't hear that. Say that one more time so people for people who didn't hear that.
Man, Fifth Ward, Texas, all black, 20% Mexicans, man. You know how we do it.
Hey, gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah, right.
Look, man, I'm just gonna go ahead and be real. Go ahead and I want you to start off with your backstory, where you're at now, and then we'll get into some only Southern stuff that we know.
All day. So shit, my backstory, man. I come up out of Fifth Ward, man. You know, just it's crazy little neighborhood, man. But I grew up with both my people, my parents as well. Fell in love with music real early in life, but I wasn't that. I was a little shy when I was younger, so when I got older, and started freestyling around a lot of my friends and people, that like to freestyle, I was the one that everybody would like. They were like, man, hey, man, you need to really do something. So I took people advice and I started recording, and from there I started writing songs and. I got invited to a couple of shows, open mics, and then we had a little, still my boys today. We had a little group called Romance as we grouped up and we started doing things like that, rocking car shows and rocking block parties, things of that nature. So I was inspired by Michael Jackson, man.
Really?
Michael Jackson for sure.
Really,
Yeah, that's my favorite. Love music. And Tupac, Biggie, of course, Eminem, Lloyd Banks, 50 grind. So you got to grind, man. If you watch 50, man, 50 went from a rapper to produce a movie director, and more and more and more, So I've been watching 50 on that yeah, man, it's not that good, man. I've been rapping now about 10 years. Right now, I'm working on my mixtape, Jack Robinson. I'm gonna drop that and drop this for spring break. It's gonna probably be like about 12 songs and everything. I might be performing somewhere in North Carolina for the All-Star. All-Star thing. I don't know if you would let me know what's up with that.
For real. Well, I guess if you're talking about the All-Star, it's time for me to do a shameless plug. You can catch Promise Mangum and the Pop-Up Podcast in conjunction with Ross Singh Clothing Company at the first, maybe the only, but the first Blacklist Party, February 16th, 2019, at the Legacy Center, hosted by me, Promise Mangum, and a bunch of other friends who are coming down. So I definitely think you should make your way up here. For real.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. So you said okay. You said Michael Jackson
yeah, yeah.
is influential. Now I know a lot of people, a lot of rappers. I don't know them personally, but as far as like culture wise, especially like when I grew up, it was heavy Cash Money, heavy the screwed up click. Like I mean, it was just heavily influenced where I'm from.
Yeah.
And you still said Michael Jackson. Why is that?
Because Michael, man. Okay, I love all that. Cash Money, SUC, DJ Screw,
Hmm.
Lil Kiki, Outkast, all that. Ti, Scarface, but Michael, man, was just unique. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing when it comes to music. There's nothing else you're gonna ever see like Michael Jackson.
Now what? Now is
You
it
know,
is it just the music side, or is it the business side as well? Because Mike was very 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 influential when it came to his business. Like he really understood the music business, and I mean understood it. Like so, are you more impressed with his ability to take because he was talented, you know, but were you more impressed of the take of his understanding of the music business, and you don't know it yet until you got a little bit older or whatever, or was it just a whole flat out, hey, he's a musician, he knew what he was doing, and that's all it was.
but I can say when I was younger, it was more Michael Jackson, how bad he was with the music.
Hmm.
But like you say, as I got older, and just see how he lived out his, like he really lived out his dream all the way.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? All the way, all that shit he imagined in his brain and he dreamed about, he brought it to life.
Hmm.
And what I'm saying, God bless his soul. He was still trying to get the message out. You know, and through his music, through interviews, or whatever. Any way he could, he tried to slide something in there for you if you pay attention. So it's more than just the music with Mike, man. He's a great person, man. You know, and I just think that's the person besides James Brown that you should look up to for music. You know,
Gotcha. Gotcha. Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely. Definitely. So, with that being said, as a style, as your style, how do you how do you label your style? Like, cause, and I had this argument earlier. We are a little bit older. Hip hop has always been a young cat's game. You know,
yeah,
and the transition from hey, we're 15, 16, 17, 18, whatever the case is, um, it's not that anymore. It's just not. It's like hip hop has grown to a mecca of I'm 30, so I'm going to listen to stuff at 30. I will probably listen to a little bit of the young stuff. I may not understand all of it or whatever the case is. I may get mad, like
yeah,
like an older person or whatever. But I think there is still a huge opportunity that no one is really taking heed of or saying like, "Yo, if I just stick with this target, I know for a fact I still got fans for another 10 years or 20 years or whatever the case is." The only person we really seen do that is maybe a Nas, maybe a Jay Z, maybe a E40, maybe a Too Short, maybe a Scarface. You know, like how do you um, how do you see that as far as your targeting is concerned? Cause I mean,
well,
first off, I don't know how old you
nah,
are, but like,
I'm 34.
yeah,
I'm
gotcha.
34.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I see that too, Scarface and all,
Hmm.
but I can say Kendrick Lamar.
Hmm.
I feel like Kendrick Lamar is the next, maybe not Tupac in a way, but he got an influence.
Hmm.
He got a hell of an influence. He got a hell of a message. And I love J. Cole. No disrespect to J. Cole, but
Yeah,
it's just Kendrick. Like he got a little more nuts. You know what I'm saying? You know, just straight up.
gotcha.
You know, yeah. So
So you're gonna give it to Kendrick?
I give it to Kendrick for as the younger rappers now. But
Yeah,
Scarface, man, can't sleep on Scarface, man.
yeah.
You know, Nas, of course, Jay Z, of course. Um, me, I'm a lover of Eminem. You know, he, he's a hell of a lyricist, man.
He is.
You know, yeah, them bad. And, three stacks.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
three stacks. Man. Hey, those cats, was rapping,
Yeah.
and still rapping. Redman. He
Hey,
bad.
hey, it's crazy. It's crazy that you said that because Red, like I said, there's a lot. It's been a lot of just rappers from the generation when I was growing up as a teenager and looking at these dudes who are like 25, 30 or whatever, now like 40, 45 or whatever, and are still rapping, like still killing it as far as lyrics and stuff like that. Redman has to be one of the most underrated rappers that I know right now, who is still
Yeah,
doing stuff, who understood his target, who understands his target, and is still just like, I'm gonna do what I do. This is what it is. This is how I'm living, and I'm still,
yeah,
going wake up in the day and still, do this stuff because I love it. And I mean, I'm talking about he's been there for like
yeah,
what 25, 30 years now, like about 20 years. I'll say about 20 years,
yeah,
20, 25 years or whatever the case is. Busta Rhymes is
yeah.
another one,
Yeah.
but I mean
Oh,
Busta's,
bro.
yeah, like I said, he just lyrically has just killed and understood the business of it too, but just killed as far as like when it comes to just pure, this is hip hop, this is what it is, but it's not necessarily okay, it's hip hop, but it's just boom pap, or it's just hip hop and it's just southern, gangster swag or whatever, or whatever the case is. Like Buster has changed his format so many times, or had the ability to like I said, morph into whatever it needs to be for him to get the message out. So, do you feel
Yeah.
you're something like that as well, or do you
Oh
say?
yeah, man. My sister tell me this all the time. She say, if you used to tell me this before I found my style, she
Hmm.
used to be like, you got so many styles in your head, so many rappers in your head,
Hmm.
so when you rap, you probably might sound like this. Kind of like how Ray Charles did when he first started. He
Yeah,
sound like this person. But yeah, I can do it all, man.
I
Flip
think.
it, you know, uh, give it to you slow, give it to you singing, however, but my style, I just can't get with that new shit.
No,
Like I
no,
can't.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's I mean, it's it's still the genre of music or whatever the case is. I think there's more money put behind it now, just for the simple fact of it's been so profitable. Therefore, they're just putting out a lot of stuff. But to really have somebody in your corner and to be like, look, this is still hip hop. This is lyricism, like you said, Kendrick Lamar, um, who's very lyrical. And I'm not talking about, hey, we're a little bit lyrical. It's like I got bars, like
Yeah,
bars. Like, you need this or do you need this many bars? I got you.
yeah,
Yeah, you really can't mess with that. So
yeah.
that, I mean, I think that's an awesome conversation to have. Um,
I think
Go ahead.
I think people are, like when we grew up, we wanted to figure out what somebody was saying.
Yeah,
And hey, listen to that again. People don't want to think though. They just want people to
it,
say out plain like you know. And that's what the rap goes. It's going to so it got so simple. People
I
just saying,
I don't
huh?
I no I was saying I don't think. I think the older you get, you start to think about lyrics. Like unless you're like really in the game like that. Like for me, listen to I can listen to Wu Tang, like Cream and Triumph, and I've listened to Cream and Triumph a couple times this week, and each
Yeah,
time it's like I learned something a little bit new about the lyrics. It's like I really understand it now. Remember, this came out in '97 now. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? '97.
yeah, yeah,
20 years ago. Like, I mean, I'm a little kid. Yeah, listen to that beat. That's awesome. Boom, boom, boom. 10 years ago, listen to it. Oh, okay. I kind of sort of see what they're talking about. Boom, boom. Today, it's like, yo, man, these dudes up here just dropping. I don't think you really understand what they're trying to say back in the day. And you got, and then like it's crazy because there were only 27, 28 probably back then.
yeah,
So it's like that time frame of when hip hop was pure, if you want to say it like that, because it still is. You just gotta find it. Um, but back then, when the mainstream was like pushing it like that, you really had to think about it. You really had to gain knowledge from stuff. Um,
yeah.
do you think uh, Houston has stuff like that? Now, I know personally, yes, because it comes from stories that are told. It's not necessary as far as like a cryptic type of okay, we got these lyrics or whatever, but you gotta figure it out. Like when it comes to Houston music and the whole movement like that, it was like I got a story to tell. This is what I did. This is what happened. This is what I went through, and then this is how I either A overcame it, or B how it went down. There's only one or the other. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, on the Houston movement, it always been the same movement. I
Hmm.
don't, and I'm considered when people hear me, they like, yo, Houston movement, you can't tell you from Houston movement.
Gotcha.
Because most of the time it's gonna be like you say, storytelling. It's gonna be about. It used to be a lot about cars back in the day. A lot of
Yeah.
Houston music used to be about the slab and the cars. Different things. But like now you got people like Vito, you know, you got Scarface still coming out.
Hmm.
Scarface music is, it's his own thing. Vito is his own thing. You got Snoop Dogg. So it's almost like depending on who you listening to in Houston, you
Gotcha.
know. But the movement, I think Houston has, man, Houston have a lot of talent, man.
Oh, it does. It does. It
Yeah,
does. It does. I mean, like,
Houston has a lot of talent.
and I know this is going to go off on a tangent. One of, no, I'll take that back. Two of the greatest artists um, from Houston that I look at on Instagram, on um, and the various other social media platforms. Um, the, Slim Thug, not Slim Thug. I'm sorry. Chameleonaire and Paul
Yeah,
Wall, because yes, their music was good back in the day. Not saying that they
yeah,
still can't throw down or whatever, but the business behind of what they did, how they
yeah,
transformed that to this is what I'm doing now, especially Chameleonaire, because he's a resident over
yeah,
at the whatever tech institute that is or whatever, and not like oh I'm just doing whatever. He's like a venture capitalist, and it's like yo, what in the world? Like this is some real like heavy smart stuff. Do you think everybody is getting on that wave of, you know, I have I'm using hip hop for this or whatever, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And do you think it's okay for them to maybe leave hip hop alone for that? Still be a part of the culture, but to maybe distance themselves from the music and maybe even the music business to go into these other venture capitalists or these other ventures or whatever and really start to cultivate stuff.
I'm total. I'm totally with whatever somebody trying to do to better themselves, man.
Hmm.
So okay, you started off with music. I mean, because music can be a platform. I think of music as a maybe a platform for me too, where I can branch off and get more to kids. Because my
Yeah,
main thing is to talk to these young fellas and talk to these young fellas if I can mentor them or you know try to get their mind right to music. Because you don't never teach you how to think. I want to teach use your brain.
definitely.
Believe in yourself, stuff like that. So I have no problem with it. And like I congratulate those guys. Like
Do,
I tell you, like 50, you know, from Houston, but
yes.
he
Here,
did the same thing. Started off with $1 million from Dre, and he almost a billionaire if he hadn't been. It's like whatever's working for you and your family. Yeah, you listen. I'm not gonna lie, I listen to Millionaire in the music business, but the music is music to get easy to go. You don't want to be involved in the music business. You want to be involved in other business.
but yeah, and I think that's the question that I'm trying to get at is, do you think that hurts the culture of hip hop when
Yeah,
some prominent, I'm not, prominent artists decide to leave it, maybe like totally to pursue something else, and then it's like they may not, on that catalog or whatever. It's like, hey, I used to rap or whatever, and you know how a lot of people say like, oh, he fell off or they fell off or whatever the case is. Um,
yeah,
do you think that hurts? Because I know one big case that I can make is Trinidad James. Um,
yeah,
Trinidad James had quote unquote one hit as far as
yeah,
popular, but Trinidad James also in 2018 is a very, very, very influential. Um, I don't want to say marketer, but he knows his craft, he knows his style, and he understands his target. Does that hurt
yeah.
for the music side for him not to be in the music as heavy, even though he did drop an album or a mix or EP or whatever? But since it's not mainstream or since it's not talked about as much, does that still hurt in the long run as the culture? Or what do you think?
Oh, okay, I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You see what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
it makes sense. Yeah, it do because you take some of the James away, and now you add somebody else. Somebody else got to take his spot. They gotta keep the representation of whatever artist they're gonna have now. So if you take some of the opposition, now they gotta probably add the bullshit out there. So you're not gonna get the same kind of culture like if you get some of the. So there's a lot what's happening. I guess it's a lot what's been happening to the game too.
mm-hmm.
You know,
So I mean,
these young people, other persons, you mean all they doing is singing on your iTunes,
yeah,
the the
yeah.
other thing, and they own. They say a few little things about selling drugs, so anything, and so yeah, they do have to music. You
Well,
do.
I mean, like I said, that's a good conversation, man. Like I said, I just wanted to see what your take on that was, being an artist, and and like I said, it was just kind of crazy because um, there are a lot of entrepreneurs I know that are in the Houston area, or whatever, who used to rap or maybe rap a little bit or whatever the case is, but they took that platform that they did back in '03, '04, '05 or whatever and flipped it to doing more of the entrepreneurial type deals and stuff like that. So that's cool to have your insight on that.
Yeah.
So now we're going to get into a Spitfire round. Spitfire round is 5 questions, 4 questions, 3 questions, or something like that that comes straight off the dome, and
Uh
you
huh.
answer them. First
Okay.
question: Are you done Christmas shopping?
Am I going to a Christmas opera?
No, I said, are you
Going
done
to?
Christmas shopping?
Oh well, I'm doing my Christmas. Well, I told about the kids and my nieces and nephews and my daughter or whatever.
tell everybody, hey man, I'm chopping after Christmas when everything on sale. You know what I'm saying?
Be real. Just be real.
Hey,
That's how
I'm
it
for
is.
100.
That's it.
Don't expect too much on Christmas Day, but you love, but that's it.
That's
So after Christmas,
that's
that
right.
Friday, you expect something in. Hey,
That's
be
what
good,
that hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Show there's more to Christmas than just getting something, getting presents and stuff.
Yeah.
Q1 for first quarter. What are your goals for Q1?
My goal,
Yeah,
second goal right now, man, is mainly get more shows and get this mixtape out, mixtape going. Hopefully, get more albums on for the summertime. Music, just to try to be the best person I can be every day.
good one.
Keep
That's a
a
good one.
keep a great attitude with everybody, so everything will be positive in my life instead of just thinking negative things. But my main goal is positive thoughts all the time.
Definitely, definitely. That's what I'm talking about. Last question: if you could work with any artist or producer or anybody in the music business, anybody, who would that one person be that you think could take you to that next level?
I would go with producer.
Uh-huh.
It'll be it'll most likely be Drake.
You
I
said
love to
who?
work with Dr. Drake.
You said Dre?
Dr. Drake. Dr. Drake.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I go producer. I it'll be lovely to be Dr. Drake, man. Such a great guy, man. His music, man, his beats, man. Still to this day, man, you tell him Dr. J, you know this is Dr. J.
You
When you
know,
come on, that's who I am. That's,
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So, like I said, I know we went off on a super tangent. Because usually the episode only lasts around 15 minutes, and guess what? We are actually at minute 28. We're at yeah, like I said. So great conversation, brother. Go ahead and let the people know your social and stuff like that.
okay. You can catch me on Facebook, William Lewis. You can catch me on Instagram, Scoob Due, Scoob Due at this time. You can catch me on YouTube, Scoob Due, SCOOBDUE. All I gotta do is type that in. This is my channel. I'm on Reverb Nation, Scoob Due. You check my music out on there. You can go to SoundCloud, Scoob Due. Check me out on there. I got my Twitter, Scoob Due. You can check me out on you can check me on Twitter, man. I'm everywhere, man. I'm pretty good in my platform. Trying to get everywhere I can get, my face everywhere. So far, that's what I know for everybody. You know?
Most stuff, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Well, like I said, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interviews tonight.
Yeah.
I still gotta go out to the club real quick, meet my homeboy, drop off some more raw scene stuff, and talk to him about the Blacklist Party. Then on top of that, tomorrow night I will be in Charlotte at Club Onyx because DJ Chuck T is throwing an open mic night, and guess who's going to be over there doing the pop-up podcast? This dude right here, Promise Mango. So I want to thank everybody for looking at the show. Bruh, I want to definitely thank you for being on the show. You know what it is. H-Town third Coast representative all day. Hey, it's a Gulf Coast thing. That's what it is, man. Promise Mangum. Hey, we out. Be easy. Peace.
Hey.